guys, it's Blinky, and today I'm going to guide you on how to snipe vaults, pallets, and more at Huntress, even without relying on audio and entirely on intuition and instinctual sense. But that's even yet. This guide will also cater towards disabled players as well. But before we jump into the video, my name is Cam. I try to show my passions for the games I play and showcase it. Also stream on Twitch from Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays at 9 PM Eastern. So pop in if you ever want to talk about CBD and other games. Also got other socials where I post stuff on TikTok, Insta, and more. We also got a Discord server where we hang out. If you want to consider supporting and you enjoy my content, please consider clicking that sub button as it really helps a lot. When it comes to sniping, there's a couple of things to keep in mind in order to pull off snipes to vault, pallets, and more that I will be getting into this guide. Number 1. Timing. Timing is essential and important to Huntress' kit, same as being patient. Knowing the survivor's mind game and timing it correctly can land you a hatchet, or even better, a down. Number 2. Unpredictability. I've gone against many Huntresses and I've realized one thing. They tend to have the same pattern when playing her. This is why it's easy to mind game them usually. It's important to be unpredictable, snipe to vaults at a different time, place, etc. Even 360s and moonwalk to catch people off guard. Number 3. Practice. Practice will build intuition once you learn a survivor's gameplay style, and it will become easier to snipe without trying too hard. You don't need to rely on audio at all, just intuition, movement detection, visual localization, and reaction time. Before I get to explaining, since this guide does cater to disabled players, I do want to mention that I'm including on talking about intuition, so this way, disabled players can use it to get better at kill or even, and Huntress if they choose to. For a general guide, that will be up pretty soon. For this guide, you'll be seeing clips of me versus my friends in 1v1 loops as well, and I will be playing these clips throughout, including with a side-by-side comparison to see how my 360s and unpredictability works at the end as well as slow motion. Before I start with the 3 tips, my experience with looping and sniping, it's important to note that at Huntress, you want to create pressure to make the survivor go to where you want them to go. This is a huge part in her kit and one that you want to make a habit out of. The more you do this, the more you can pull off good snipes. Holding your hatchet is one way. Another way to move around, moonwalk, do 360 to catch them off guard. This also means to build enough of a habit to the point that you know where they are without hearing or seeing them. This is called intuition. It's basically like predicting someone and where they're gonna go. And it also comes with enough practice. Another thing to note that I do 360s and moonwalk twice, usually to do snipes, so try to study my movement and ask yourself questions on how I was able to use it to mind game survivors. Now, we can start with the 3 tips. First is timing. One of my tips in timing is to not instantly snipe through a vault or pallet, but wait for the right moment to. We'll go over example number 1, a clip here where I use timing to my advantage. Notice how I first moonwalk, making my friend think I was moving away, but then I wind up before showing myself, and throw when he's behind the hay. This is an example of timing, waiting until he moved to an area where I knew I could get a hit. I could have wasted more time on moving towards him, compared to being confident enough to get a hit. Example number 2, creating pressure to make them move to where you want them to is a good example of using time wisely in a match. Watch here how I use the shades in order to create pressure, knowing that the Felix shades would be worse, and I go after Steve, which gave me a better chance to get it down. Example number 3. See how I used the small window to catch Mia off guard as she wasn't expecting this? I used timing to wait until she was in view and quickly reacted. It's okay to hold your hatchet, but not for too long. Once you feel like you can throw a hatchet, go ahead. It's also very okay to make mistakes. This will help you improve. Moving on to tip number 2, unpredictability. It's important to change up your movement depending on what the survivor will do and their playstyle. Being unpredictable with your hatchet is very important when it comes to sniping through vaults and pallets. Most of it is achieved by moonwalking, 360s, and changing up your timing to catch survivors off guard. Example number 1. Notice how it keeps detecting to get a chance at a hatchet? However, she changed direction to the other jungle, so I decided to wait at the vault to get a shot down. This is an example of changing playstyle and being unpredictable. She thought I was going to keep running after, instead I saved time and used the opportunity. Example number 2. Here's an example of an injured Dorina using the pallets to stun me, and I used Moonwalk to be able to get a hatchet hit and thrown her off by waiting for the right moment. Example number 3. Here I used a tight spot to snipe through to down the chill, which she probably wasn't expecting. Learn through trial and error and experiment sniping through spots like that. Moving on to the last tip, number 3, practice. It all takes practice, trial and error, and a ton of mistakes. Always try to watch your VODs, record a gameplay, see what you could have done better. Held on to the hatchet, should have used it immediately, should have moonwalk. It's not all about sniping, it's about applying pressure with snipes, it's about timing and giving up certain things to get what you need done. As promised, I'm going to play some clips in slow motion and play the last 2 videos side by side. Enjoy! This is the end of his Sniping through Vaults, Pallets, and more guide. I hope to help. Drop a sub for more guides and check my socials out if you're interested. Got any questions? Did I miss anything else? Drop them down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.